College Football Breakdown, brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen, helping injured people throughout Utah for over 30 years.
All right, even with the loss, the Utes still moved up one spot in the AP poll, if you can believe that. 16th, they remained number 16 in the coaches poll, by the way.
All right, Christian Cox, former Ute, David Nixon, former Cougar, here to break it down. And guys, that punt return really stings, but what really hurt the Utes was the chunk plays by the Washington offense.
Yeah, you saw the struggles in the run game, right? Everyone, was wondering, how was Utah giving up all this yardage on the ground? And we saw a special player in Myles Gaskin.
Man, what a night. He had 7.9 yards per carry that he averaged. And this particular play here is one of those big gainers. And you look at it from the onset, you say, man, how do you get around the edge to get that big of a gain? Yeah,
and you look at it, you got a trips formation. So usually you have a corner down here. He's up on the other side. So you got a linebacker on the edge, and he's taught to spill this play when you get a puller. So you can see two pullers pulling around. He steps down to spill it, and when you spill it, usually you have a cornerback there, but the cornerback's up on the other side, so it's just a faulty play. Gaskins is not even blocked.
It's a great scheme play, exactly. When you're defensive end and there is a nub side, as in there's not a corner on your side, you've got to force everything. But like you said, kind of by just your nature, you want to spill it.
Yeah, you got to leverage it back to the middle. And then you saw him gashing you up in the middle, and what Washington was doing was stretching the gap integrity and running everything wide, but you got to get better play out of this position.
Yeah, linebackers, you're going to see they're going to move just sideways, basically. They're kind of shuffling. You've got to play downhill, especially when you've got a Washington offensive line that does a great job of combo blocking and coming off and getting up to the second level.
And one of the things, that backside linebacker was Cody Barton here. You can't take the cheat way through. You got to go over the top. When you can see it up here, you got to run over the top of the line, over the top of that lineman instead of cheating through that.
You're taught that if you do go underneath, you have to make the tackle. Otherwise, you're really hurting the defense by going underneath.
Yeah, and so how do you shut down, how do you have a positive shutdown of the run game? So you saw this with a huge play from Hunter Dimick, and what do you get here?
Yeah, just down here below, he absolutely destroys the offensive tackle, and I love his leverage. You're going to see him, he's able to bench press the offensive tackle, get up underneath him, and then once you bench press him, you have a two-way go. You can basically control that tackle. If the running back's going to come down underneath, you can shed him, and that's exactly what he does.
And he has him 4 yards deep. It's the same exact running play, but the defensive line is who shut this play down, not the linebacking core. As you see, a monstrous play from Hunter Dimick. He walks that tackle back, sheds him off, makes the tackle, and that was a big stop for Utah to get back in momentum. But one of the plays that we saw Troy Williams struggle in the first half, he threw an absolute dime to Evan Moya, and let's take a closer look at this one.
Man, this ball was on the point. Great play, and what I love about this play call is you're going to see down below, Utah does a great job of doing bubble screens and getting their guys out in the space and getting their athletic guys the ball. But this is one of those bubble screens and go, rocket screen you also call it, and you're going to see the safety is going to have to respect the rocket screen, the bubble screen, and Troy Williams is able to deliver a dime to Moiai.
Yeah, and so that freezes that player who's got to cover him on that wheel just enough, and Troy Williams just throws it on a rope perfectly into this window here, as you can see that, just over the top of that linebacker and underneath that safety, and he comes up with a big catch and touchdown to tie up the game.
Yeah, it's a big play. Tim Patrick does a great job of doing a nice little middle of the field post, takes away the safety, and delivers the ball right on target. And this is a big play in the game that Utah needed to stay in it. And sure enough, Moiai, who you said was injured, thinking about not even playing this game, decides to come through and comes up with a big touchdown.
Comes up with a huge play. And so we go to the final play, right? This didn't break the game, or it wasn't the end-all, be-all, but this punt return, let's bring you behind the curtain. We're going to show you some of these plays. And what do you get here from punt coverage usually?
Well, punt coverage can never follow your same color, and that's exactly what Utah is doing right here. You're going to see two guys that are stacked, and what happens is now the integrity of the punt coverage team is now lost because you've got two guys in the exact same lane, and because of that, they're both going to end up knocking each other off of the tackle. Yeah. And so you have wrong angles, but then you got guys taking each other out of the play, and then you're going to start having some blocks in the back.
Yeah, so you have a guy here who's aiding him out of the way. You've got Chase Dominguez here. We'll give you a different angle here. He's actually pushed on the side, but where the real block in the back is Wishnowsky, who has the right angle, and if he's not adjusted out, that's a call they definitely missed.
I think the Wishnowsky block for sure is a block in the back. The other two are 50-50 calls. They're questionable, but that one for sure should have been called.
Yeah, and so we'll show you some of the tape that was pulled by KSL.
Great
obviously,
film,
right?
fantastic job by KSL.
As you can see, so you get that adjustment, the guy blocking him in the back here. But look here on this Chase Dominguez play. You can see him get pushed sideways, but this one here pushed in the back by Wishnowsky getting blocked in the back. A play that Dante, Pettis gets a touchdown. Washington goes up, but A tough loss for Utah, but still everything ahead.
Well, and we were talking about this play is tough when it's in live and it's going full speed. It's tough for those refs to see those little nuances, and sure enough, Washington got away with one.
Yep.